Lolo, are we back? What was this? Oh, this was the powder horn. This was the powder horn. Okay, how do we do? I actually want like a water skin instead of um like a canteen or anything. I want like a water. Let me look up some. Ooh, I really like this molded one. Yeah, yeah, let's do that one. Hold on. I'm gonna draw it on my sketchbook. Okay, there you go. Looks like. Um, so how can I make that more of a square? No, it's more of a, yeah, hold on. Um, my B key. Not, the fuck is my B? There it is. Find my B. The way it looked was, it was a bottle like, and then it basically had an edge all around it. Um, like it was basically uh leather stretched over a die or like compressed between two dies. And then the edges just weren't trimmed. I like that look quite a bit, actually. Yeah, and then was sewn around the edge here to like keep the water from. I was gonna use some finagling, but also I didn't mean to. Yeah, hold on, let me fix it. Back. This was not compressed yet. I should have done it this way. I didn't want to compress the neck of the. Um, That's good enough. Actually, you know what? I don't need to add a square. What I can literally do is. Yeah, just do this. I'll have to, there, like that. And then I can just along north. There you go. Get exactly what I wanted. That's what it looked like. Well, looked a little better than that. Because it had these edges were out. Um, and then those had like holes in them. There you go. Uh, and then oh, I don't need a new object. And just Um, and also those edge. I want this a little low, actually. Stands out. How low do I? Yeah, that. Okay, then I need a string coming from this to there. And then like some wraps around there as well. I remember, what was it again? We used for the rope around the gun that time. I can add a it generate if I oh, yeah, there was a way to turn this solid. Don't remember what it was though. Geometry? Oh. Oh, that way. Okay, I remember now. Gonna ant on my mic. And then I can just I just want a bit of a bundle. Okay, issue is that's way too small. No, that's impossible. I can't have that on the fucking model. I got distracted again. None of that's I can't. Yeah, it's just gonna snap off. How am I need to like lay it on the thing if I don't want it to fall off. Kind of a shame because I like it dangling like that. To do what to do? Make it a lot thicker. It's stupid. Should make it at least thick though. That then can work probably. Yeah, like that's what I'm doing right now. Guess I could only it's fucking close enough. If it... How do I turn this into a thing though? How do I make that exist? How do I make this exist? Right click, convert to mesh. Yes, that's what it was. Okay, and shade smooth. There you go. Works. Then I need like more here. But first I think I should fix the bottle. By fix the bottle, I mean basically just extrude everything on this side. Beautiful. Perfect. Oh, whoops. Not this. Not this. Why is it... No. Off, man. Not this. Thank you. Okay, and then we just yoink it this way. Because then there's no model. Preferably we'd want... There you go. Two more straps here. Can I close the gaps? I think the reason you can't hear anything is because I'm not saying anything. Okay, Cool. Then I'll just... Awesome. There you go, and we have our little canteen. Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with that. What next? Could be a bit. Oh, cool. The water can done. Do you have any tips on making a mini race in a fantasy sci-fi setting like fairies, etc.? Nope, because I haven't tried to do it myself. And even if I did, I don't think I'd still know what I'm doing. I don't have enough experience, like, just making a bunch of races. Okay, this is a powder horn. Let's see. Horn. I want, like, a pretty nice... Okay, let me draw that up. Okay. It's not hard, I don't think. tool I'm using. Devil. What the fuck? It's not. I don't like that. Just. Like to. Hello? Okay, that was easy. Um, now I gotta do some rope again. Also, this thing's, yeah, it's a little. Don't wanna adjust a little. Is there a reason it's a horn and not metal? Nah, because I just felt like it. I mean, imagine they just, like, this dude just scavenged it from the fucking trenches somewhere. So I'm pretty fine with, like, mixing and matching them, even though, like, ROM would mass manufacture them. There's no doubt that soldiers would just pick some up if they want to, or just get supplied with ones that were scavenged and refurbished from the trenches. So it's not like a end all be all, oh, ROM only uses ROM manufactured shit. Nah, if somebody finds a powder horn and they're missing a powder horn, doesn't matter what kind of powder horn it is, they'll just fucking take it, you know? I want that sort of like mixing of stuff, cause like it's the world's like people are desperate, you know? They're not gonna stick to their fucking uh values or whatever. Do you have any tips for interesting divides in a faction? I've made factions of two groups who hate each other but cooperate to survive. I'm struggling to make them not kill each other uh believably. I mean, yeah, I'm not the right person to ask for that. Like when it comes to like interesting story things or world building things that are like narratively deep or something like that, like I don't have that. Like Ram and Varus are very surface level nations, and literally their differences started as just surface level shit. It was just um one was fancy, other was bulky. One had this pants, other had puffy pants. One had plain armor, the other had segmented armor, you know? And that's pretty much it. And then it just developed into this whole thing, like after I kept adding to it. But even to this day, it's not really that deep. It's literally just um well, it's just a bunch of shit piled on top of each other. It's not like complicated shit. It's just a bunch, that makes it seem like there's much going on. Uh Not kill each other believably. How much do they hate each other? Like I guess in your situation, what I'd think about is just trying to make sure that the threat they are cooperating for is justifiably dangerous enough that they wouldn't consider killing each other. Because, like, there's an extent to it. Like, it depends on how much they hate each other first, and then how far does a threat need to go to have them put that aside. Um, like if they're just like a little grrr, like fist shaking at each other, it wouldn't take much for them to be like, okay, we can deal with this later. Let's deal with the bigger threat for now. But if it's like a full on like war situation, there's got to be like something enough that it's like if they don't deal with it, it'll wipe them both out kind of thing, I think. So if it's just if it's clearly communicated that the shit they're having to cooperate over is dangerous enough, I don't think there's going to be much you need to justify, because people can just make sense of that. They're like, I mean, yeah, they hate each other, they've fucking generational war or whatever, or blah blah blah. But like if something's bad enough, you'll be like, well, I get it, I get why they're not fighting for a little bit just to deal with that. Okay. They could both have something of importance the other that they wouldn't compromise their truce in, worry, or destroying in. Like a hostage situation. Like they both have some shit that they don't wanna. Yeah, for me, it's like for me, it's impossible to like come up with interesting shit from the bat. Like I'm not smart enough to come up with like complex dynamics on the fly and just have that be the first thing I come up with. Like for me, it always starts really rudimentary, and then it like I slowly get a better picture of what's going on. Like yeah, I okay, like Ramen Varus, yeah, they do have a bit of like stuff going on. Like they're um diametrically opposed, kind of their morals are opposites in an interesting sort of way, maybe. Like it really did just start as like a puffy arbor or puffy pants and then normal pants. No, there won't ever be Ramen Varus Yuri. At least I'm not gonna make it. If anybody else wants to, that's up to them. Uh, don't discourage it, or I don't discourage it. Let's do that. That's gonna snap off. I really want hanging strings because, you know, it just looks nice, but it's gonna snap. It's gonna break. Nothing's because I hate it. Like when I see it in like miniature models where the strings just like tape to the fucking body. I don't like it, but I know exactly why they do it. I mean, obviously, if I do it this way, it's gonna snap. But I but it's nice. It's so nice when it hangs. What do I do? You could substitute with having it strapped on. Well, yeah, but it doesn't make sense for a powder horn. A powder horn you sort of need to like pull out and then like maneuver around, so it needs kind of a long string. That's why it's normally like slung over the shoulder or like on a bandolier or like hanging low. But I don't want anything like way low like this, so I'd rather just have it on the shoulder. Yeah, I'll think about it. Move on to. I think this will be easier. I want like matter what's in. Here we go. Ta-da, bag. One who got me into doing my own world building in the first place. Oh, nice. Glad I got you to do that then. Um, oh, there you go. Works. Okay. By the way, oh, I already read that. Should we read your messages in an accusatory tone? Oh, no, I don't think he meant it that way. Okay, what next? For uh, knife. I want to do. I don't want to do it the same, like the sheath, the same way as this to like be sort of connected. Yeah. So yeah, I want a bevel. Weird shit. I don't like that. Like that. Handle wrong. I can do the handle wrong.